Lord of the Mysteries is a phenomenon-level web novel. When we hit Volume 2, Faceless, the story really starts to pick up. Tight pacing, gripping plot, and a wave of key characters making their debut. So starting today, let's do a quick run of Volume 2, Faceless. After Klein, our Zhou Mingrue, disguises himself as a clown to say goodbye to his brother and sister, he boards the train to Backlund, the city of hope. Along the way, he masters the clown acting method and begins digesting Beyonder potions. Upon arrival, he takes on the name Sherlock Moriarty and starts working as a private detective. Not long after, he gets a request from a teenager named Ian. It's a simple case, but it pulls Klein into a spy affair. Ian has inherited a scientist's manuscript, and Becklang, the Intis Republic's ambassador to Lone, wants it badly. The ambassador sends his goons to find Ian, and they break into Klein's apartment at night, only to be killed by Klein himself. Realizing he's in deep trouble, and learning his foe is a Sequence 6 Beyonder, Klein immediately visits the black market. He pays £1,000 for a Language of Foulness talisman and hires Sequence 5 Miss Sharon, a wraith, as his bodyguard for 3 days. He also leaks a job posting at the Tarot Club, asking for an assassination of the ambassador. That's survival instinct right there. Meanwhile, Miss Justice, Audrey, takes the mission seriously, spending a hefty £10,000 to recruit Sequence 5 Mr. Shepard from the Aurora Society. He's the one who successfully assassinates Ambassador Becklang, resolving Klein's first major problem. During the clash, Klein and Sharon defeat Sequence 5 Master Spy Rosigo. Klein uses the talisman and delivers a stylistic takedown. He not only gains potion formulas for Sequences 7, Sequences 6, Sequences 5 on the full pathway, but also creates a secret secondary persona in the Tarot Club, codenamed The World. With The World on deck, Klein can delegate sensitive ops without putting his full identity at risk. While Rosigo's mission fails, Miss Justice's hit succeeds flawlessly. Becklang is dead, and Klein's initial crisis is solved. Klein still has one more day under Miss Sharon's protection. She insisted on watching over him until their 3-day contract ends. During this time, under her guard, he takes on 2 detective cases. He helps Miss Mary secretly photograph her husband's affair. It's a minor case, but it leads Klein into the Crag Club, where he meets 2 important future plot characters, Darim and Dr. Allen. He assists a newly arrived merchant in Backlund by exploring a hidden tunnel under his house. Inside, Klein discovers it's actually a 4th epic structure filled with statues of various deities. As he approaches one door, both he and Miss Sharon sense danger and escape immediately. Although they decide not to explore further, Klein promises that he'll investigate again if needed. Later, he returns and collapses the passage, claiming it's infested with snakes, forcing the merchant to seal the entrance. In the later part of the volume, just before leaving Backlund, Klein and Miss Sharon revisit the tunnel and find an evil spirit. They seal and completely bury the place. At a tarot gathering, Miss Justice submits an application for her friends Hugh and Foles to join the club. Klein uses this opportunity to give Audrey a portrait of his enemy, Lanris, as their admission mission. Thanks to Klein's intelligence, they quickly locate Lanris and report his whereabouts to the Church of the Evernight Goddess. They also reveal that Lanris possesses the true Creator's divinity. Alarmed, the church dispatches one of its 9 high-ranking deacons, Sesama, along with the goddess's sword artifact, to capture him. Lanris, using the true Creator's divinity, battles Sesama. Both are gravely wounded. His true plan emerges. He was deceived by the true Creator, who implanted a seed in his body, gradually taking over his own flesh to create a vessel for its incarnation. To break free, Lanris deliberately attracts the church's attention, aiming to pit them and the true Creator against each other. His plan succeeds, both are weakened in conflict. He flees into the sewers, thinking he's escaped. But then, a playing card dagger flies into his chest. Klein strikes. Facing one of the killers responsible for the death of a Nighthawk captain, Klein no longer holds back. Using his nimble clown abilities, he battles Lanris, eventually catching him with a sleep talisman. Klein delivers a brutal blow to his throat and snaps his neck, finally avenging his captain. Seeing Lanris's corpse, Klein laughs manically beneath his clown mask, an unsettling sound that seems stronger than tears. Quietly, he whispers, "Captain, look, we saved Lone again." In that moment, Klein fully digests the clown potion. In the days that follow, he officially ascends to Sequence 7 Magician. In the night sky, a blood-red full moon appears. Miss Justice's friend, Foles, hears those familiar whispers that come with every full moon, just as always. Suddenly, Foles begins to transform into a monster. In the moment of crisis, Foles prays to the gods. When that fails, he speaks the fool's name. Hearing Foles' call for help, Klein pulls him into the gray mist space. From that moment on, the Tarot Club gains a new member, Foles, codenamed the Magician. Next, Klein helps the Harvest Church's bishop with a task and receives a magical item, the Master Key. But it has a drawback: the user often gets lost. Its original owner was Emlyn, a vampire who had wandered into the church and became trapped in the cellar ever since. With Klein's help, Emlyn is finally freed and becomes a priest of the Earth Church, often assisting at the Harvest Church. He suspects his conversion came from psychological suggestion, so he seeks a cure. He's persuaded by Marquis Nevis to believe he's blessed by Lilith, thus he prays to the Fool and joins the Tarot Club as the Moon. Later, at the Roselle Memorial Exhibition, Klein remembers Emperor Roselle's diary mentioning a blasphemous path card hidden as a bookmark. With Miss Justice's help, Klein locates the bookmark and uses the Master Key's door-opening ability to steal it unnoticed. That card corresponds to the Black Emperor pathway. Now the Tarot Club controls its first god path. But as Klein gazes at the Black Emperor card, he feels conflicted. He may understand divine secrets, yet he only knows basic ritual magic. He's desperate for a comprehensive occult book. He asks Miss Sharon, the bodyguard he hired earlier, for help. She agrees, but only if Klein helps her eliminate 3 members of her sex indulgence faction who are after her. After a fierce fight, Klein and company defeat them and earn a secret mystical book, allowing him to systematically study occultism. Klein, trying to earn money, tags along with journalist Mike to investigate the local mob. Here, he witnesses the harsh reality of the city's underclass. An old woman dies after finally getting a full meal. A kid posing as a beggar turns out to be a thief, and Klein learns that 350,000 people go missing every year in the city. Suddenly, Roselle's diary entry echoes in his mind. The Industrial Revolution will become the breeding ground for eldritch gods. A while later, a series of gruesome murders hits Backlund, terrifying the public. To speed up the investigation, the police put up a £2,000 reward. Private detectives swarm in, including Klein, who's invited by a renowned detective to join. Under official investigation, they trace the killer to a Sequence 6 demon, a black dog, a Beyonder beast. The dog is killed by official Beyonders, but things aren't over. Klein receives a chilling letter written in dried blood. "You will all die." Turns out the dog's master, a Sequence 5 Beyonder known as the Apostle of Desire, is seeking vengeance. Several detectives have already been attacked. The authorities begin guarding private investigators. But the Apostle's real goal is to assassinate Duke Nigan. Seeing that official Beyonders have been drawn away, he sneaks into the Duke's lover's residence and succeeds in the kill. Wounded, he flees through the sewers, but Klein ambushes him there. Klein kills not just the body, but captures the Apostle's soul, dragging it into the gray mist space. Through interrogation, Klein learns the Apostle was acting under orders from a secret group called the Twilight Hermits, devotees of an ancient solar god who manipulate history to achieve their own ends. Klein's performance catches the eye of the Steampunk Church, which recruits him as an informant and entrusts him with a Grade 2 sealing artifact, Arad's, a magical mirror with perfect knowledge. But Arad's has a catch. Anyone who asks questions must truthfully answer its probing, embarrassing queries in front of witnesses, questions like, "What type of underwear do you like?" or "What's your sexual orientation?" Socially devastating stuff. Despite the church's mixed feelings, the mirror recognizes Klein as its owner and becomes his loyal servant. With Arad's at his side, Klein's clown potion is fully absorbed, and right after, he formally advances to Sequence 7 Magician. Meanwhile, in Silver City, the Forsaken Land, new trouble brews. Silver City is overseen by a council of 6. When the Sun Tarot bearer, Derek, discovers that the council's newest elder, Shepherd Novia, walks a sequence linked to a forbidden god, he grows deeply concerned about the city's safety. To avoid accompanying Novia on an official mission, Derek fakes losing control and is quarantined. During isolation, he meets an old explorer who tells of an expedition into a dark wilderness outside the city. The team encountered a mysterious man, and one by one, Team members went mad or were transformed. Only the old man returned. That man was Ammon. At a later Tarot Club gathering, Klein explains to Derek, the so-called Ammon family is a myth. Ammon claims ancestry from an ancient sun god with the ability to steal divine powers, earning the title Defiler. Unknown to them, Ammon has already possessed Derek through a doppelganger. Thankfully, Klein spots the possession in time. Drawing on the Black Emperor card, he summons a 12-winged angel to exorcise Ammon's fragment from Derek. What Klein doesn't yet realize is that his fate is now deeply intertwined with the Defiler Ammon. Sometime later, Silver City forms an exploration team to seek the true Creator's temple. Led by Council Captain Colin, with Derek joining, they venture into the ruins, only to fall into a time loop. Each time they encounter a boy named Jack, they reset to the beginning and lose their memories. After 5 cycles, a tarot gathering pulls Derek into the gray mist space, where he finally uncovers the truth. With advice from the Tarot Club, Derek and the team break the time loop and identify the culprit, Euryalus, the Fate Angel and one of the 8 Kings of Heaven. The boy Jack turns out to be the key to breaking the curse, and Colin brings him back to Silver City as a symbol of hope. Klein receives a case from Dr. Allen. The doctor has been haunted by the same nightmare. Atop a pitch-black spire coils a giant silver serpent. At the tower's base lies Septon, the child the doctor once treated. Through divination, Klein learns that this child is actually the Sequence 1 Snake of Mercury, a monster pathway beyonder. To escape danger, the serpent has reincarnated in the doctor's unborn child, making him their son. And just like that, our little snake finally makes his debut. A while later, having gathered all the materials for the Faceless Potion, Klein officially advances to Sequence 6 Faceless. According to his plan, once elevated, he'll leave Backlund. But he doesn't get far before new trouble arrives. A few days earlier, Klein was chatting with cavalry coach Darim at the Crag Club. Suddenly, Darim collapsed and died on the spot. Klein suspects supernatural involvement and reports it to the authorities, but shockingly, the case is quickly closed as a standard heart attack by royal decree. Witnessing everything, Klein stops fleeing and draws his pistol, firing at the altar. But the ritual has already begun, and the bullets have no effect. In a desperate moment, Klein remembers the cursed master key. He tosses it onto the altar, shattering the balance of the ritual. An enormous explosion destroys the ceremony, and the death-like fog begins to dissipate. But the crisis isn't over. Mr. A, driven insane by the ritual's collapse, launches a frantic chase after Klein. To escape, Klein blows Azek's copper whistle. The bone messenger intercepts the fatal blow meant for Klein. Even as the chase continues, a graceful female figure suddenly appears before them. In that exact moment, Mr. A's face becomes a pencil sketch as though erased by a giant rubber, and the woman smiles at Klein before vanishing. The sudden shift leaves Klein bewildered and unable to comprehend what just happened. He's overwhelmed by the tension of surviving. That mysterious woman was the official sealed artifact 017, Angel of Concealment, the entity assigned to apprehend Triss. Why a zero-level artifact saved Klein? That will be revealed later. Shortly after the battle, Azek finds Klein. Inzangwil has been gravely wounded but escaped. Unfortunately, the Sequence 0 artifact 008 is still in Inzangwil's possession. For safety, Azek entrusts the cursed Wriggling Hunger artifact to Klein and orders him to leave Backlund immediately. On the final day of the year, Miss Justice Audrey holds her coming-of-age ceremony amid blessings. That same day, newspapers report that the Backlund smog incident claimed nearly 40,000 lives. In the city lit by lanterns and fireworks, people celebrate the new year, releasing brilliant dreams while bidding farewell to silent souls. As the era surges forward, Klein leaves Backlund and heads toward the sea, embarking on a new adventure. It turns out the third Prince of Lone steps in. Darim was his friend, and he refuses to believe Darim died of a natural cause. He commissions Klein to investigate. Though hesitant to get involved, Klein can't refuse a royal request, so he takes the job. To his surprise, he uncovers the truth. Darim was murdered by the third prince's mistress. Even more unsettling, Klein realizes she was trying to meet him and narrowly missed several times. That word coincidence clicks instantly. Klein remembers the Sequence 0008 sealing artifact, the Defying Fate key, held by Inzangwil. Suddenly, he knows. He's back in the line of fire, facing another 008 artifact crisis. As soon as Klein said he couldn't help the prince and climbed into the carriage to escape, the prince's mistress suddenly appeared inside. To his shock, she was Triss, the witch from Tingen who had transformed from male to female. She told Klein she wanted him to turn her into the official Beyonders because she felt her life had been manipulated. Even her name had been changed to Trischik. Hearing that name, Klein froze. Roselle's diary had mentioned Trischik as the name of the original witch, a deity worshipped by the witch cult. Terrified, Klein realized he was caught between the influence of the 008 sealing artifact and an actual god witch. Even 10 lives wouldn't be enough to survive this. Sensing immediate danger, Klein fled into a nearby forest. He knew he was once again under the 008 artifact's lock. Without hesitation, he blew his copper whistle to summon Azek's messenger. As the help request went out, Klein also told Miss Justice, a fellow noble, that the prince's lover was the Pleasure Witch. He urged Miss Justice to alert the official Beyonders. No sooner had he done this than a flaming meteorite, sent by the 008 artifact, crashed toward Klein. In the nick of time, Azek appeared via the spirit world and saved him. But both ended up near Inzangwil, setting the stage for a demigod-level confrontation. Realizing that as a Sequence 6, he would be a burden to Azek in that fight, Klein turned and fled, only to run straight into a shocking scene. The Aurora Society and the witch cult were collaborating on a true creator's summoning ritual. Leading the ceremony was Mr. Shepard, who Miss Justice had once hired. The ritual triggered a grave disaster. A toxic fog descended over Backlund. The elderly and sick collapsed like trees cut down, and those who touched them quickly caught a fatal plague. Meanwhile, the city's poorest inhabitants, struggling to survive, became willing sacrifices for the resurrection of the true creator. So concludes Volume 2, Faceless. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next volume.